As Democrats were picking their new leaders, most of them the same as the old leaders, Nancy Pelosi was asked if she had considered giving up her powerful position in the House. And she responded by leveling a direct charge of sexism against the news media.
It just is interesting as a woman to see how many times that question is asked of a woman and how many times that question is never asked of Mitch McConnell. I was never on the front of Time magazine, even though I was the first woman to be. Wasn't that a curiosity that the Republicans win? Boehner's on the front of Time magazine. Mitch McConnell wins. He's on the front of Time magazine. Is there a pattern here? Now, as I said, who I am does not depend on any of that, with all due respect to all of you. But as a woman, it's like, is there a message here?
I appreciated that, with all due respect, in that statement, and she went after your former employer. But putting all of that aside, does she have a substantive point here? Is she right?
Well, we asked Time, where I used to work, if they had a comment on it. They didn't want to comment to us. The week after she was Speaker, the cover of Time magazine was China, Dawn of a New Dynasty. Now, timely, always. But
and important,
I was
a worthy
stunned.
topic.
I was stunned. She's been on the Time cover as part of a collage of faces. I was stunned that she's never been on the cover of Time, and stunned that she wasn't that weak. Having worked at Time, I doubt it had anything to do with sexism.
No.
But at the same time, she does have a point, and I do think her point about not being asked, those other guys not being asked about whether they would step down. Neither of them has ever been majority leader or speaker.
I agree.
And then they lose the majority.
I agree, but this is obviously a burr under her saddle. And you know, if you were the first woman Speaker of the House in the history of the body, and you hadn't ended up on the front of Time magazine, but John Boehner did, and Mitch McConnell did on those days, you would be perturbed, and you would be right to be perturbed.
I think that was the only week they could do China, Dawn of a New Dynasty. That was the one and only chance. Whereas Nancy Pelosi could be reelected Speaker at some point. You know what? I think she should have been on the cover of Time at some point as the first female Speaker, and as a powerful Speaker of the House back when she was. But I got to say, she seemed pretty hot about that, so I think she noticed she wasn't on the cover.
Yeah, I think that's right. Did not escape her notice.
And she probably passed through a couple of airports and seen that McConnell cover, and it kind of steamed her.
Yeah, seems like it. Okay.